Hi, in this video today we're going to fix up this Siemens dishwasher which is leaking rinse aid out of the dispenser drawer. In fact, you can see a little blue puddle just there on the floor, and if you look in the door here, there's stains all down here. In fact, it's been leaking for that long it actually made the rubber seal fail at the bottom as well, but we're going to do a separate video on how to replace the rubber seal. In this video we're going to be replacing this part here with this nice new unit. Now originally the rinse aid lid here was replaced, the old one's been put back on because it didn't make a difference, so a new one was put on here, yet it was still leaking. There is cracks and stuff around here, so that's why originally we thought that maybe this was faulty, but it's not the case. Even with a new lid it was still leaking, so that's why we bought a complete new unit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a Torx 20 bit and we're going to undo the screws around here. So first things first, before we undo any screws, we're going to kill power to this dishwasher. So we're going to unplug it from the mains. There you go. So you can see it is now unplugged. Now that screw's longer, so I'm going to put them in order, how they came out. Right, so now this wants to drop down like so. So it looks like all the wires are attached to this bit here, so we're just going to lift this bit up and I'm going to let this bottom bit drop away. And you can see all the staining here from the rinse aid and all down here as well. There's lots of staining going on. If you're wondering what these bits are, they're just going to go on here at the end, and it's to stop the front from flexing in and bending. As well, if you look up here, if this has come out, there's a little seal just here. You might find that that's come out. That just fits in the top there. So now we've got quite a few clips to undo. So I'm going to gently let this front part just hang now, because there's going to be quite a bit of strain on the wires. And we need to undo this connector here and this red one here. So with this one, I'm just going to move it out this way. It's like a kind of U that clamps onto the circuit board. So I'm just wiggling it out. You can see there that that's come out there like so, like that. So now I'm just going to let that hang down there. And now on this one here, I'm going to unhook the wires from here. And we have a tiny little tab just on the right hand side. So if you peel back the plastic, you can see that there's a little tab just here. So I'm moving that to the right hand side, and then this will move down like so. Again, you can see this is all covered in rinse aid. And now I'm just going to move this vertical, and you can see now that the strain has been removed from these wires here. So we've got a nice bit of room to work with. The cables are fed round here. We're going to be replacing this whole unit, so we want to remove this cable guide. It's a little bit fiddly, but if you get your screwdriver and if you just force in here, you should be able to push out that bit like so. Now this bit's really fiddly because you can't really get your hands in the top bit because that's where all the wires are. But if you get your screwdriver and if you try to just put it in the side, it will make more sense when it comes out. There. So it push fits in nice, but it's hard to come out. There we go. In fact, you can see they're bent up there. So I'm going to just bend those down. There we go. So we're now free, and this is the unit we're going to be pushing through. Now it's all stainless steel around the edge here, and it's just loads of plastic bits in. So it's the sort of thing that's really easy to push in, but it's going to be quite hard to push out. Now it's very awkward because the stainless steel is quite sprung, and as well as that, it's clipped in so many places. So to make it easier, I'm going to start putting screwdrivers in around the place, and hopefully you can see now that that's already lifted that bit out there. And now I'm going to do maybe the same over this side. There, like so. And I'm under that clip there. And if I could get one more underneath this one, then I might stand a chance of working it all out. There we go, and that one's there now. Oh, there we go. I think it might be easier from the bottom. So I'm just putting, there we go. I was just putting pressure on my finger doing it there. So it looks like going from the bottom, because then it will release from the top easier. So now that should come through. There we go. Right, that's gonna go now. Right, let's open up the door so it doesn't drop out. And, oh, there we go. This is it here. So this is the old unit, and rinse aid is leaking everywhere from it. Can't actually see where it's failed. Seems to be coming out in loads of different places. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to clean around here, because you can see that there's a bit of scale build up just around here, and we want that to be nice and clean so it makes a good seal with the new rubber gasket. So this is the new dispenser here. I'm just going to wet my finger and just put a bit of water around the rubber seal. Hopefully that will make it fit in nicer. If I'm really struggling, I might use a little bit of washing up liquid or something, but I'm going to try it with water to begin with. And if you have a look, that's the actuator there. That opens up this drawer. So when you've got your tablet on, the actuator will enable via the connection here, and then it will open up the drawer to let the tablet drop out. Okay, so it's going to go in this way like so. So now it should be a case of just forcing it in. I want to hear it click all the way around. I think that's it. Let's check on the inside and see if the tabs have all gone in. So these ones have. That one there, yeah, that's gone in. That one's gone in there. And the three at the bottom, I think I could do with going in a little bit more at the bottom. Here, there you go. Did you hear that clip? And that's gone, I think that's gone in now. Let's do the same on the middle one. So I'm forcing down from the inside as well. There we go. So that looks like it's in its home. What we're going to do is, because there's a lot of gunk and stuff around the place, we're just going to give all this a nice good clean now while we have access to it. Now in the process of cleaning all this up here, as well as that, we're going to have to clean these connectors, because the two connectors that came off are absolutely full of rinse aid. You can see that they're all blue. So if you've got something like isopropyl alcohol, that will be perfect because it will just evaporate off. At this house at the moment, we haven't got any isopropyl alcohol, but we've got this little alcohol prep pads, you know, for things like cuts and stuff. And these are 70% isopropyl alcohol. So we're just going to use one of these and it will evaporate off and not leave any residue. We also need to clean this yellow one down here because this is filthy. Okay, so hopefully they'll make a nice connection now. And we're just going to clean up the inside of this and make everything look nice again. So now we're going to put the wires back around here. So I'm going to put this one in the top bit here. Just got to line these up because these are bent. So they're going to go into these holes here, here and here. These three fingers. There we go, and this one's going to clip in here. Like that. So now that's in place nicely. The red connector is nice and clean, so we're putting it in this way with the wires coming out to the left hand side, and that's just going to go in here and clip in like so. So that's fully home. And now we're going to be lifting this one up, and this one's going to go in with the yellow wires towards the right hand side, and the U shape there, the circuit board actually goes in the middle of that U shape. So you can see the circuit board is going to go like that's there. So the circuit board is going into that big gap. There, and that's home. Right, okay, so now we just need to put the screws back in. So I'm just going to rest that gently there a minute. To make this a bit easier, I'm going to use a tin. You could maybe use a cereal packet or something to try to lift the door up a little bit. So now we're going to try to put the front on again. Looking at the height here, we think that this little tub will do better than this because this is a little bit too tall. So we're going to just put this underneath here to raise this up, like so. And now we're going to bring this down. And we're just going to lift this out to stop it from springing back up. I'm going to lift this one in, if possible, like so. Now what I have to do is I have to try to get, if you have a look here, can you see there's all these little slots? Well, the bottom of this fits into those slots. So if you have a look, these things here fit into the slots. So let's line them up like that. There we go. Now let's start dropping this down. Okay, it's definitely not easy to do. It's easier with two people. We've got the tub underneath here and we've got the tin here as well, supporting the weight of this. Now, all of this is going to have to be slid down by about, 3 inches. But these plastic things are causing problems. Let me show you how they go on. So if you look at the design like that, this bit here needs to go on to this bit. So it goes onto the front of the door like so, there. And it pushes all the way up, out of harm's way. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. Now on this side here, we've got all the wires. I'm going to put the wires in this part here to keep them out of harm's way. Like so. And now that's going to go onto here. Like that. So now I'm going to try to get this into position. There. And can you see now it kind of went over the plastic clip, and now I have to try to move it down. I'm going to have to do the other side as well because these clip over it. So we're going to be lifting this out ever so slightly to here, lift it up, and now hopefully that will go down there. And now we can start putting the screws in. I'm just going to put them in loosely because I don't want to rip them out of their thread. I'm going to use the small ones on these 3 here. I'm just going to start them off. I'm not doing them up fully tight. And the longer ones go up here. Right, now they appear to have gone in okay, so I'm just going to go around now and do them all up tight. There we go. So that appears to be lining up okay. And now we have a nice new soap dispenser there, tablet dispenser, and also the rinse aid as well. So we're just going to fill up the rinse aid now and make sure that there's nothing leaking out. And we're going to plug it back in. And turn it back on. Right, there you go, you can see the rinse aid's just below the max there. Close it up, nice confirmation click, and that is working nice. So hopefully now because this is all new and the seal's nice and new, it won't be leaking. At this moment in time, it doesn't appear that anything's dripping out. So obviously put your dishwasher on, make sure it's all working properly. If it's not, it could be that the 2 cables you disconnected might have come loose because there was a lot of weight on those cables when you're trying to put this back on. It's definitely not an easy job, but this part here is about £50. So if you like your dishwasher and if the rest of it is working well, I think it's well worth fixing something like this for the sake of spending £50 and taking about an hour and a half out of your day to do it. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any advice or anything to help other people out, put it in the comment section below. Although this is a Siemens, the same process will apply to Bosch Hotpoint and maybe other models as well. Thank you so much for watching.